You were never making your own choices. You were reacting to scripts, to setups, to traps, carefully engineered, not to control your actions, but to control your perception of freedom. They let you choose, just so you'd never question who gave you the options. This isn't a story about control. It's a manual, a map of the invisible levers that move the world. Welcome to the Manipulator's Handbook.
All of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it.
Part 1. The Authority Trap. People are trained from birth to obey power. Not truth, not reason. Power, a uniform, a title, a clipboard. That's all it takes. Milgram's experiment proved it. You put someone in a lab coat, and ordinary people will electrocute strangers to death, as long as they're told it's okay. When people fear disobedience more than they fear injustice, you don't need chains, just an official voice. Obedience becomes righteousness. And questioning, that's rebellion. Part 2. The Illusion of Choice. People hate being controlled, but they love to choose. So the manipulator doesn't restrict options. They manufacture them. Option A, Option B, red door, blue door. Pick your poison. Freedom of choice is the most seductive illusion, because when you control the options, you control the outcome. You don't need to persuade them. Just direct them. Let them argue. Let them defend their side. As long as both sides serve your plan, the game is yours. Part 3. The Echo Trap. Mirroring is magnetic. Match the way they sit. Repeat their words with subtle variation. Tilt your head when they tilt theirs. And suddenly, they trust you. It doesn't take logic. It doesn't take truth. It takes reflection. When you echo their rhythm, they feel seen. When you reflect their tone, they feel heard. The more you mirror, the more invisible you become, until they can't tell where their thoughts end and yours begin. Part 4. The Inception Trap. The strongest ideas are the ones people think they came up with themselves. It's not about giving answers. It's about asking the right questions. You create the frame. You plant the seed. You let them connect the dots. And when the idea blooms, they think it was theirs all along. The manipulator's genius is subtle. You don't push, you guide. A look, a phrase, a hesitation at the right time. And the mind fills in the rest. That's not persuasion. That's inception. Part 5. The Silence Trap. Words fill space. But silence builds pressure. In a negotiation, silence isn't weakness. It's a weapon. You speak less. They say more. You hesitate. They rush in to fill the void. And in that rush, they reveal. They concede. Silence makes the world uncomfortable. But for the manipulator, it's the sharpest blade. Because when everyone else is scrambling to speak, you're the one with the power to listen. Part 6. The Identity Trap. Control behavior, and you control a moment. Control identity, and you control a lifetime. If someone believes, I'm a loyal worker, they'll stay late. If someone believes I'm a good citizen, they'll obey, even when the rules make no sense. Give someone an identity, and you've given them a script, and they'll perform it. They'll protect it, even if it destroys them. Cult leaders don't hand out tasks. They hand out roles. And once they've worn the title, they'll live the lie. Part 7. The Compliance Trap. You don't have to force people to follow. Just train them to believe it's normal. The compliance trap doesn't need guards or guns. Just procedures. Do it this way. Stand here. Sign this. Smile. Over time, repetition becomes comfort. Comfort becomes morality. And compliance becomes character. The ones who resist, they're called difficult, troublemakers, rebellious. But the truth is, they're the last free ones in the room. Because real power doesn't punish disobedience. It programs it out of existence. The mastermind's modus operandi. The true manipulator doesn't push. He arranges, he doesn't argue, he designs outcomes. Every tactic is architecture. Every silence, a blueprint. Every nod, a test of control. You don't dominate with strength. You dominate with structure. The board, the pieces, the illusion of play. They think they're making moves. They think it's their strategy. But the game, that was yours before it began. A message made for masters. This wasn't content, it was calibration. For the one who saw the signals, who recognized the traps, who remembers they were born for more. This world wasn't built for you, but it can be bent by you, because you weren't made to obey. You were made to observe, to adapt, to design. You don't follow paths, you forge them. So take the page, burn the handbook, and write your own.